you see, I didn't shoot you. I'm hanging myself in the back. The Lessers did it. No, you see, this is my point. I don't have any control of this stuff. If I turned around and was like, bitch is dead, he's going to end up stuffing Butch for the rest of his life. Dildo impression again? No, my thing is that I can't. That's the thing. If I left her dead, that isn't what happened. So I don't have that much input on it. I mean, the stories they literally have already been written in my head. And I'm the archaeologist who just goes and tries to find and you follow the little vein of the story. And it takes you where it does and where it was always supposed to go. And you can't, I've never been able to change, the outcome.
You're aware that's not really how archaeology works, right?
My dear, now is not the time to get literal.
Oh, that's right, sorry.
It's fiction. It's fiction, goddammit. Yes.
Have you ever been disappointed where your stories have gone? Like, have you ever wished they didn't go where they went?
Don't give me an opening like that. Have I ever been disappointed? I have been disappointed because I have ideas about where I think things are going to go. Okay? Just like everyone else. Everyone who reads, you all have different preconceptions. I have the same ones. I, for example, didn't know Blay was dead. Gay. The thing was that I saw whoever everyone else ended up with, except I kept getting this blank slate for Blay. And I was like, what the hell? So I figured he must have died. And I thought, the reader's going to kill me if I shoot another character. But then it turned out he was gay. And that's why I didn't see him with a chick. And, which is, the way it goes. If you're gay, not with a chick. Most of the time. We can get in, that's the next session. I guessed wrong. So I have never been disappointed because there's an internal logic to everything, and I just don't know what the outcome is yet. And when I get to the outcome, I'm like, that is exactly what was supposed to happen, and I can see it once I get there. But I have been disappointed in the short term, absolutely.
I think if I've ever been disappointed with a chunk of the story, it's because what I see in my head isn't what I'm able to get out on the page, and that I'm not able to deliver, in that particular draft, the impact that I'm looking for.
But you always get there.
And that's part of the process. Yeah, I have to, in the same way that you have to email me at page 170 every single time and say, this is a train wreck, it's never going to come together, I think I'll just go, farm for a while. So for me, it's the... So for me, it's a case of wishing that I could do a better job with the things that are in my head and delivering them so that you can share them.
This is your defense. Yeah, but this is what drives me crazy about you. I mean, it's something that I have a fault for myself.
I like driving you crazy.
I know, and you do it so fucking well. The thing is that you are like it's the process. You want to throw up excellence every single time.
I do, and for me,
you view it as a failure to do a first draft, and that isn't the way it works.
But in the same way that you never see yourself as a success, that something's got to drive you.
Yeah, you're right.
For me, I've never been a team
That's
player.
That's what Butch says.
Yeah, there you go.
Something's always got to drive you.
And then he burns clothes. So for me, it's really a case of just trusting that I will be able to deliver the experience that I want, because I want to share it with the readers. I want to be able to talk to readers about the characters that I love and the characters that I see in my head. And so the only disappointment for me comes if I feel as though I may not be able to deliver that. I feel that in the end I do. But there's a certain point in the revision process where I'm just like, you know what, deadline's coming up, this isn't coming together, it's not gelling the way I want it to, and I get panicky that I'm not going to be able to bring it home in the end.
Or you always do. Okay, yes. For the warden.
Since you're speaking so freely today, is there anything?
I thought I was holding it together right away.
Is there anything you can share with us about Layla? She's going down a tough road. Romantically.
It's hard.
Did I get that right?
And well, just as well. I can't say anything about Layla right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We gotta. I know it's one question, but that was an I couldn't. I gave her to keep reading. Yeah.
At this stage, do you still have difficulty casting sections?
I set my alarm for 2:30 in the morning when my internal editor is not awake yet, and I'm not going to be sitting there thinking,
I was going to say when
my mother is not going to read this.
when, when your internal critique is wearing pink panties and a little see-through
Well,
my pants.
Yeah, up against the wall. Yes. So for me, the sex scenes for me, if I'm having trouble with them, getting up, for those of you who are aspiring writers and might be having some challenge with that, I find getting up super early in the morning before you're really analyzing every word that goes on the page works really, really well. But if I know my characters, and this is, again, to that discovery process, if I know my characters well enough and I know exactly what they're thinking, feeling, and doing, it just